Hi, my name is Allie Gert with Fluid Minds. At Fluid Minds, we help our clients move from stuck to supported with custom websites, ongoing care, and full digital strategy tailored to their specific needs. Today, I'd like to talk through the change in search and how human behavior is changing with the introduction of AI tools like ChatGPT to find local businesses. At Fluid Minds, we help our businesses grow online by helping you get noticed by Google and by AI tools, convert your visitors into customers, make sure that your site and your online profiles are easy to update, and provide friendly long-term support. Before we talk about the back-end technology and how that's changing with I want to touch on human behavior. Over time, as technology changes, behavior changes. Then technology adapts to react to behavior change. In this example, think about how centuries ago, people would go to the town square or the center to find a different vendor, a new vendor. They would talk to other community members. The vendors may be right there in the square to help them. And that was really the community resource. And then the printing press came about, and newspapers began to sell advertisement space to small businesses. The phone book could be considered the first SEO or search engine optimization. This is where we started to see businesses naming themselves ABC Cleaning Company instead of Smithtown Cleaning Company, so that they appeared first when a visitor was searching for a cleaning service in the yellow pages. Then Google came to the scene about 15 to 20 years ago and created a whole lot more noise, but a whole lot more useful information as well, if you were willing to learn how to sift through the information. And now more and more people are leaning on their favorite AI tool like ChatGPT to help sift through that information ahead of time. How users filter their data and their next behavior are different based on what search they're using, and most users don't even realize this. For example, when you search residential roofing company Dubuque in Google, you see things like sponsored ads at the beginning, and then a few sites and the map pack. The map pack shows the top 3 business rankings for those terms. These are keywords that you're typing into Google. Google has trained us very well to search for keywords rather than searching a full sentence. As a user continues to scroll the page, they can sort through providers, go to their websites, and choose their next action. When searching the same criteria in AI search tools, the result that you receive is much more limited. It's a more targeted answer. And instead of a pagination structure where you can continue to search and go through page 2, page 3, you're only given a list of what some users consider authoritative guidance about the only options available. What this means is if a residential roofing company in Dubuque does not show up using AI search, they're no longer an option for users searching this term in ChatGPT or other AI tools. Unfortunately, in this example, Dubuque Roof Repair, which ranks very well in Google search results, is not appearing anywhere in the ChatGPT search that I performed. However, as I mentioned before, when technology changes, so does human behavior. When Google came on the scene, the search feature was not as robust. Users were quickly trained to search for keywords rather than type in a sentence and try to decipher whether Google was picking up the correct terms to search for in the sentence. I assume other people talk to ChatGPT like I do. It's more of a conversation, less structured like a keyword search we would type into Google. Because of this, there's more information for the tool to try to match up to our search. But there's also context where the tool will stretch to reach for your intent. For example, I mentioned in this prompt that I'm looking to replace my roof. You can see that the Dubuque Roof Repair Company doesn't appear in this search, and it might be because ChatGPT assumed a repair would not suffice for my needs. However, there's a big opportunity for small business here. You can also see I give more keywords like reliability, cleanliness. I need them to work with my insurance. This is where business owners and nonprofits can lean into basic website best practice and SEO standards, reputation management, etc., to grow their site strategically, creating an environment where they consistently rank with LLMs for relevant searches. Here are three different sections of work that you can do on your own site to help ensure that AI search tools and Google are finding your site against your competitors locally. Safety first. These are best practices to make sure that your site is secure and visitors can find you and feel confident in the information on your site. You should have an SSL certificate at the top where your domain is. It should say www.yourdomain.com, and there should be a padlock icon there. That's an SSL certificate protecting user data, and it avoids the browser warnings. This builds trust with search engines and helps you rank right away. Regular software updates helps prevent hacking, and it also helps make sure that the technology stays relevant. And as it's becoming more and more important, auto-updating privacy policies to comply with state laws, CCPA, and the GDPR help build trust and avoid fines. Next, mobile friendliness is key. I'm sure we've all been to a website where you have to zoom in to click on a button, zoom in to read the font, or you have to scroll side to side to actually read a paragraph. None of that is appealing for a client, and making sure that your site is mobile friendly is so helpful. More than 60% of people are visiting your site from a mobile device. Also, make sure that the navigation is intuitive for the smaller screen size. Usually this means using a hamburger menu option for mobile devices. Next, let's make sure that your site works. Run a broken link checker. They're free. You can just type in broken link checker for my website into Google and run your domain through that. It will help you make sure that there's no 404 errors when someone clicks on a button on your site. Load speed is very important. So your homepage should load in under 3 seconds. Making sure that your images are optimized for size helps with this quite a bit. And then let's make sure that accessibility is top of mind. So more and more people use screen readers, and making sure that the site is accessible so that those screen readers and diverse users can understand what's happening on your site is key. Finally, ask yourself a couple questions. Does your homepage headline clearly explain how you help people in 5 seconds or less? Do you have calls to action that bring people further into the site to learn about your services, learn how they can donate or volunteer, or learn more about your team or contact you? Is your site appealing to look at? Do you like the colors? Is the font easy to read for you? You want to make sure that your users are getting a great experience and can read the words on your site and also understand them. We've moved through the foundation of how your website should operate. Now let's talk about SEO, search engine optimization. Think of search engine optimization as putting signposts out for robots. It's the art of speaking the language of search engines and now AI tools. It's how they understand what you're providing, who you're providing it to, and how you're providing your service so that they can connect your solution to a customer's problem. Key things to consider with SEO and specifically keywords. LLMs or AI tools are looking to answer questions, and they're scouring thousands, millions of sites to help find answers for their users. FAQ sections are great, or even pages, full pages for FAQ. On service pages, these help use search engines find and relay information back to the user. You want to write with intent so that your language is consistent and matches the language that your leads or donors are writing with when they're looking for you. So in our roofing example, If there's a roofing company who wants to position themselves in dealing with insurance claims after a hailstorm, they would want their site to have references to specific keywords that homeowners are looking for, such as storm damage, roof repair, insurance funded roof replacement, storm chaser, roofer near me, things like that. Semantics are becoming more and more important. And let's think back to an example from English class. In 10th grade, or maybe before, we were taught that the first sentence of a paragraph should summarize what we're about to say. Then the rest of the paragraph says what we want to say. And the last sentence of the paragraph explains what we just said. This is a similar structure for site pages. The semantics of a page help technology understand what the true meaning of the page is about and where your authority lies within that subject. Then it will display the right words from your page, from your website to the end user. Some best practices, we want to have one H1 on each page, and then H2s are the main subheading under that, which support whatever your H1 is. All of these subsections could break off to pages of their own, making your site even more robust and deep, where the H2 on the homepage becomes an H1 on the subpage. Here's an example, going back to our roofing example. An H1 could be residential roofing in Dubuque. And then we have H2s with paragraphs underneath that explain roof replacement, insurance claim help, and emergency repairs. Each of these could have buttons that lead to specific pages about each of these subjects, like roof replacement, insurance claims, and emergency repairs. Some more things about semantics. We just talked about our heading structure. We also want sections to be grouped by topic. Every page should have a single page intention, like we just talked about. Meta titles describe each of these page intentions, and the descriptions are what you can read under when you search in Google. It gives a short paragraph about what that page is about. Those descriptions help encourage clicks. Local and service language should be included. So if you are a roofing company, likely you service your local area and you're not traveling across the country or across the globe to provide roofing services. Your language should include your radius or location. You could have different locations, different pages for each location. Let's say you serve 3 different counties or 2 different large cities in your area. You could have a location page specifically targeted to each of those locations. Lastly, alt text. The intent of alt text is to help describe images for screen readers to understand what is happening in a picture and relay that to the user. It does support accessibility. However, it also helps Google and AI tools understand images, and it helps you show up better in image search. So describe every picture on your site using alt text. Talk about what is happening in your picture, and specifically if it's related to your company, like if someone is wearing a polo with Fluid Minds Web Design on it, maybe I would say XYZ from Fluid Minds Web Design is helping a client with their local SEO. And that's not misleading, but it does help give the search results or the search engines a little bit more information about what we're doing. We've talked about the foundation, we've talked about SEO. Let's talk about your business reputation and how you can manage that. A Google business profile is incredibly important these days to help people understand when you're open, how they can find you, and where to go next. You should have a fully completed and verified profile. You should have accurate services and categories along with descriptions of what you're doing inside of your Google business profile. Show real photos of your real work. Do not use stock images either on your website or in your Google business profile. Regularly update with posts or events or sales that are happening related to your organization, and ask your clients or donors for reviews. Google rewards reviews, specifically consistent recent reviews. Once a month, you may send a request out to a few of your former customers, asking them to give a Google review if they had a great experience. Responding to all of the reviews, people read those, and it helps people understand, even if you didn't get a great review, how you're responding to make sure that the transaction was completed to the best interest of the customer, and also that you kept everything fair. Keywords naturally appearing in reviews is even better. This is an opportunity for someone to say where you provided your service, helping Google understand how far of a radius you will travel. It's also an opportunity to talk about the different types of services that you offer. Maybe it's roof repair, but you also offer gutters, and that's kind of an ancillary service that you offer. If someone were to put something about gutters in their Google review, then Google can now recommend that you are a gutter expert as well. Think about what people are saying outside of what you own. So you own your website, that's a great asset for you. You own your Google business profile, it's a great asset for you. But what are people saying about you or your entity outside of your owned assets? AI search tools specifically are looking to Reddit a lot to understand what people are talking about in local communities. Search engines also reward active content. So add events, blogs, update your images on your website, continue updating your pictures on your Google business profile, respond to reviews, add posts for any new service offerings or sales that you're having. Make sure the copyright date at the bottom of your footer in your website is the current year, and make sure you have auto updating privacy policies to comply with changing laws. So where do we go from here? All of this work can be done internally by your team. We have a free checklist that you can download and help kind of walk you through these items and more. But you can also reach out to us. Maybe you feel like you have a great website, but you're looking for help with your Google business profile, or you're looking for local SEO support as you continue to grow or expand to different locations. Fluid Minds can help you do all of this work if you don't have someone internally to do this for you. Thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to hear from you. Find me on LinkedIn, download our digital guide, and can't wait to see your business continue to grow in your area.